Welcome in, everyone. Good morning to all. The Fed yesterday, big meeting. I'll let Chris kind of get more into it, but basically they announced quantitative easing. Welcome in, everyone. Which is pretty significant. The Fed yesterday, big meeting. I'll let. So I'm sure Chris will talk about it some more, but a pretty pivotal day in the market yesterday. Interesting to see in the next 30 minutes how we open, because we were pretty beat down last night, and the SPY managed to pull back significantly overnight. We were down like 1.1% at some point. Tom, I'll repost that when Chris gets in here. You're on the evening edge last night. I am still bullish, but at the same time, I'm like, there is a bear scenario, right? And it all depends on the dollar. So on your charts, you can look at DXY. That's what I like to look at. It's the dollar index fund. And you just want to look for, if the dollar starts strengthening, then this quantitative easing trade that could push the market higher will go sideways. And by sideways, I mean not good. So Chris will be on shortly, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you were watching the FOMC yesterday, but Powell was dovish. I guess that was a good thing. All right. Anyways, I'm fading back into the background. I know I don't make myself known all that often, but I had to this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome back. How did we do yesterday? Did we survive the Fed? We had a bit more of a directional day. Market makers did not keep prices within the contained move, 42.73 points. We ended up seeing a push of, where's my open yesterday? Let's go back to the 5-minute chart. I think we closed about 60 points higher for the day Here's where we started, chopped around all the way until, as I said, 2 p.m. The market was from the 33 to, I mean, we chopped around for 7 whole points the entire day from 9:30 to 2 p.m. And then all of a sudden, all the volatility came at 2 p.m. So I wanted to ask, did we have some traders that survived those iron condors, survived the daily profit play? I didn't get filled because I didn't force that trade. What I ended up doing was mentioning, we talked about those defense trades all day. We had the VIX spike up at 1767. That was my calculation on the top of the day, which is on the workspace here for a daily profit play. Post this in Telegram. 69.15 top was the 1766 VIX because we didn't go higher than that. I decided that we came into 6,900. I sold a 69.20 by 69.30 call spread to make sure, like, if we did in fact poke 15, I was still safe. And I grabbed 70 cents yesterday and it let it close at the end of the day. So I managed to grab a quick 70 cents per contract at the end of the day. I filled that trade around 250 or something like that, 2:45, 2:50 p.m. and let it sit for the last hour and change of trading. But anyway, market makers did not keep prices within the expected move. Today, the expected move post Fed, we have a plus minus 30, showing 36.43. Okay, but I have some pretty large gamma levels for today. Let's see here. 69, 15, 67, 70, 10. Well, okay, I wanted to make sure, like, hopefully you had some trades over 6,900. Good. So Larry got a full winner there for $1.55. Survived to the close with a win for Greg, 11.20. Awesome job, man. Survived the close with a win. I love hearing that. Let's see here. All-time highs just 34 points away. I mean, well, we're down today about 0.41% in futures, so we'd have to overcome that gap first. The market got a little excited. Everything's like, oh, the Fed's going to cut. They're more accommodative. They're talking about cutting more. I mean, it doesn't really change the probabilities. That's the weird part, is like there was a big dissent in the Fed yesterday, 9-3 votes. That's the first time we've had that many dissenters since like the 80s, which I thought was kind of interesting. Let's go Fed Watch tool. So CME. See if this pops up. There we go. So right now, probabilities are for, I mean, number one, we don't have any Fed through the rest of this month. It's late January. And the expectations are January and February and March, there is no Fed activity outside of a pause. So unless, I mean, something dramatically happens where this shifts, we have cut and we're holding. And now the next cut is potentially slotted for April. Okay. So from that standpoint, nothing really changes. Like, this was anticipated. The big flipperoo was the last couple of weeks when we thought the Fed was going to pause, and then we had that NVIDIA sell-off day, and then they flipped, and all of a sudden they're going to cut. So they did. The one thing that Powell said many times yesterday is he did highlight the labor market. They also are adding some form of balance sheet expansion. The Fed is going to start purchasing $40 billion of treasuries starting, I think, tomorrow, and doing this every month. So from rolling off the balance sheet to now starting expansion again. I mean, it's interesting to do this now at all-time highs, to be cutting. I don't know if this affects the yields. 10-year yield is down. I mean, this is kind of encouraging, to be honest. I just don't know if there's going to be much momentum to it. So let me drag this. That'll be back down to 2024 levels. Let's see if we make a new low. So it's not at Liberation Day lows yet. That would be the big blowout move we had when we were bragging for like 3 days. Sub 4% 10-year. Rip. Basis trade breaks. Blowout move. 15% drawdown in 2 weeks. So if it like slowly works its way down to fresh lows on the US 10-year yield, that would be nice. TLT pre-market up a little bit, but we're looking at a 0.4% gap lower today. Okay, we're opening up about $3 lower on the SPY. Futures market 0.38, 0.39 to the downside. NASDAQ futures down 0.5%. Dow futures flat, Russell futures down a quarter, 1%. VIX is down to sub 16. I'll keep an eye on this right now. We're trading around 15.97. That's roughly a 1% move plus or minus. Here's my gamma on the morning. We have to stay above 68.85 for positive gamma. We are going to be gapping below that, so this will flip to negative gamma this morning. There's a pretty decent transition zone. My drawing tool. There's a pretty decent transition zone. If we get below 68.85, there's room down to 68.50. So, and if that's the case, that is a big, flipperoo from yesterday's price action through the Fed, right? So if we've got a plus or minus 36, well, lo and behold, there's your previous day's close. There's your 35 points right there, right? We closed at 86. We get to 50. That's your plus minus 36 directionally. So if we get there and bounce, market makers can do their job. So if I'm selling puts, this morning, if we gap lower, we look at our put side, hopefully because they failed to do it yesterday, that we see things within the expected move today, right? Thanks, whoever that is. Really nice comment there. Been going through your master classes, learned a lot. Good. Let me know how else I can help. Okay, so pretty big transition zone, plus minus 36.43 on the day. VIX is around 15.9. Let's see if we spike up. Let's see if we go back down. I'll set a chart alarm here at 15.57. And then let's set a chart alarm back around like 17 or so. We had just over 17 VIX yesterday. Let's set a VIX at 17. That'll just make me stay a little bit more alert with like the potential, highs and lows and defense trades on the day. Okay. All right. What else? Dollar's been weakening today. Here's currency strength. So Swiss and yen on top, dollar getting weaker. Here's Aussie. So we've had two pretty strong Swiss days, which I don't love that. I've been waiting for like literally 2 years to see the Swiss weaken to a decent amount for like a 3 and 5 wave move. It hasn't happened yet. But today, dollar's getting weaker. Yesterday, dollar was the weakest. That was actually the biggest move post FOMC was the dollar weakness. So we are turning back south on the dollar. And this is, I think this is an encouraging sign for like risk on. I mean, this should be a decent thing for equities. One of the weirdest correlations is watching the dollar go down and equities go down at the same time. So if the dollar goes down and equities goes with it, I don't really love that. That shouldn't really be the correlation. But bonds are slightly up. That's the nasty environment when dollars down, bonds are down, and equities are down. What do you do? That's why it's not a very common correlation, but it does happen. So anyway, dollar's getting a little bit weaker. To what level? I mean, we're at 98.28. So can we come down to 98 round number? Do we hit the backside of this wedge trend line? Is this a retest? Or are we going to, hit here and then bounce back up? Or are we coming all the way back down to these lows again? I still think this is still a range trade. We may not just have like crazy bear market on the dollar. It might just be a range trade. And I don't know. Part of me is gearing up for more like sideways chop in 2026. Market just hasn't quite made its mind up yet. What it's going to do, what it's capable of doing. No crazy negative news, no crazy positive news. It just kind of finds its footing, finds its range, and that's kind of why I'm still watching. Levels like this and patterns like this. We might be able to still go higher through the end of the year. Maybe try to get into that 7,000 handle. But if we pull back first, this wouldn't be a bad spot. Let me kind of zoom in 1 second. Let's say that we pull back, today's 0.4, I guess 0.3 futures is retreating a little bit, but let's say we pull back into this area, right? If we pull back and we have a little bit of indecision here, we pull back into maybe this NVIDIA resistance offering some support, and we do have a bit of a year-end rally. Maybe that's enough to get us back to 7,000. Okay. So we'll see. I'm curious what the day looks like. I'll see what the deltas are this morning once we hit our daily profit play and see what lines up. Elsewhere, I think silver made some new highs. Let's go to the daily. So this is 3 higher highs, fresh all-time highs in silver for the last 3 days. I mean, insane. We're just getting further and further away from every single moving average, which we're going to come back to it. I mean, this still has like potentially. I would not be wanting to buy this now without having some downside protection. But if this is going to go ridiculously higher, it will end badly. It'll rip up, and there's going to be just chasers, and it will pull back, and it will come back to some market efficiency. So even if silver were to go to $100, this is still resistance becoming support, all these moving averages. It's like, I'm just going to be patient. There's plenty of time to get into silver if you ask me. I'm still maintaining a core position. I'm long CEF, I'm long SLV, but a fraction of what I was when I closed profit earlier this year. But pretty crazy stuff. And then gold still hasn't done anything. Gold's been pretty choppy. I think gold still needs to find its 200-day moving average. If gold continues to head higher, that's exciting. I just don't think it goes too much higher than this. So if we hit these highs, or fake out at these highs and start to work our way back down, equal lows, maybe some type of topping pattern first, but bigger picture, any type of topping pattern, measure out symmetry reversal, buy. I'm buying gold and silver a lot, but not at these levels. Natural gas. I'm going to move this chart alarm down here to see if we can break that 17. I've got longs on UNG out to 2027. Bitcoin up to about 94.5, now back down to 90. It'd be nice to have Bitcoin have a good weekend. If Bitcoin can somehow, get above 94, 95 this weekend, that'd be encouraging. Otherwise, I think we're going to try to do some retesting of these levels. So a couple things. I could see Bitcoin high to low, chop, retest the lows, maybe even go slightly lower, but that would be I think it'd be a good opportunity to be like divergent. So you have price disagreeing with momentum, and then the market finds a bottom, get a bullish pattern. And that would be a great trade with confirmation, right? Rather than calling the bottom, if we have a bullish pattern, this to me would be a great trade to like scale in, stack in, just treat it like an individual trade and get longs in Bitcoin. But let's see if we get a price pattern first. Otherwise, we got to break back above like 107 to 108. If this just keeps grinding higher, get back to 107, 108, and then any pullback here, I'm buying the dip. So, but I've sold a lot of premium on Bitcoin to lower my cost basis by about 25%. And that gives me a little bit more breathing room to say, okay, I can, keep tabs on this for right now. MicroStrategy is pre-market 179. I closed out a winner yesterday. I was in that build a trade from last week. We collected $2.33. I closed it out for right about $100. I think after fees, it was like $96 or $97 profit. That was within about a week. So that trade is running into January, and I don't really want to own more shares of MicroStrategy. I already have ownership, and my cost basis in the low 200s, and I'm just going to sell premium and lower my cost basis and basically repair the trade. Okay. So let's get some levels. VIX at, we'll just say 16 for right now. I've got the screenshot already updated for our daily profit play. Let me recenter this at 68.86. Any questions from yesterday? Like I said, I didn't officially have a daily profit play trade. I posted this in Telegram for members yesterday, just kind of sharing what the day looked like. So here's daily profit play. I didn't issue an official trade with the FOMC defense level we talked about at 69.15. I was watching that level all day. Once the Fed started to take things up, the VIX didn't exceed 17.66. So I was using that 69.15 level. So I took it. It's a high risk trade. I mean, this is why I didn't post it as a group, because it was a terrible trade. Like, reward to risk was awful, right? I sell the 69.20, buy the 69.30. It's a bear call spread. Got filled at 257. This was trading as high as about 90 cents. I filled it for 70. And I put in a second order. So I had one trade in 69.20, 69.30 for one contract at 70 cents. And I got filled. That was the trade that I took and got profit on end of day. I had a second trade pending 69.20, 69.30. I still had my broken wing butterflies in. All those trades were still sitting for the day. But I had a second trade in on the bear call spread 20 and 30 for like $5. I'm like, well, if we're going to push up to these levels or maybe get like $3, $4, $5 of credit on a second trade, I was still pretty confident that prices would not get into that 69.20 by 69.30 area. And in fact, they didn't. So they topped out around 6,900 yesterday. Okay. So let me center this at 68.86. 68.86. recentered. VIX is around 16. So let's calculate it here, and we'll keep an eye on the VIX this morning. But let's go. So we're going to gap a little bit lower, so I can take yesterday's close, go up about 1%. So that's a 69.55. Oops. Text box? What the heck? Is my text box broken? Okay, that's weird. All right, I'm just gonna move this. This is so stupid. Anyway, all right, now I'll recenter this at 68.86. Should be good. That's a close from yesterday. All right, so 69.55 should be the top based on a 16 VIX. Okay, and again, this is subject to change. If the VIX is going up, okay, then I will make this adjustment. Same thing to the downside. We will go from the gap lower, which should be around 0.3%. So we're going to go roughly an open today around 68.66. So we start there and go 1%. Potential low around 67.97. Oh my gosh. Trading view. Rarely do have these issues. All right. Write it down. 67.97. Let's go 0.3%. So 68.65 or 68.66. Go 1%. 67.97. We're going to freehand this today. So 69.55 top, 67.97 bottom at a 16 VIX. Okay. If the VIX goes higher today, make those necessary adjustments. So if the VIX goes higher, that's a new percentage. That's a new top or bottom, right? Let's say we go up here to 17 VIX today. I'm just throwing it out there. We go to 17 VIX, do your calculation. We're at a 1.06% top and bottom. So you'd have to make that adjustment based on a slightly higher VIX. So slightly higher highs, slightly lower lows. We talk about that in our last couple of master classes we've done for daily profit play. Speaking of master classes, today, masterclass on waterfall income at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so 2 p.m. masterclass for waterfall income. Very good. All right. And what else is going on? Let's see. What the market do yesterday as far as finishing the day? 63% of stocks advancing. We had some red. JP Morgan had a big comeback. Goldman Sachs at all-time highs. Surprise, like some of the credit card companies like Amex is at all-time highs. Visa is at all-time highs. Netflix, the whole thing with like Warner Brothers or Paramount, whatever the heck's going on there, Netflix has taken a little bit of a dump. But after the split, I've got a ratio spread in for Project Options Edge, which I like. I'd own shares at like $60 or $58 on Netflix if I took any assignment, which would be like a 55% discount. Nvidia still not making any crazy highs. I'll look at some of these big stocks. So Nvidia, just kind of a big nothing burger. Could we have a year-end run? Sure. I mean, if the market's going to make a run into highs, could we have Nvidia going back to 200 by the end of the year? If so, that drags the markets with it for sure. Obviously, a lot of competition's heating up in the chip space. Google just off all-time highs. Can we hit all-time highs again? Let's find out. Chart alarm there. Could we fill some gapping? Sure. I mean, we could pull back and hit some moving averages. Um, that's a big run. I would just look at some of these stocks. If you've got a run like this for 2025, I wouldn't be surprised if there's just some pullbacks. It could be a buy the dip, but man, just it makes me more nervous to see a stock that performs like this. It's hard to think this is going to keep going without having some type of correction. So to me, either a little organized correction helps a lot. 30%, there's about a 60 to 65% chance that we hit this 30% retracement, we'll go retest the highs. Okay, 38%, about a 55 to 60% chance we'll hit the highs. Once we hit equilibrium, now it's just a matter of like, I think it's a good investment. If you like being here, going back to the highs or higher, you're getting a pretty hefty discount based on that fib swing, right? So I'm just not chasing anything at these all-time highs. Meta has had a nice comeback, tapping into this like pocket zone. Could we regain? Maybe, but I'm just not forcing trades. I think that right now is like, it's not a time to force trades. I kind of want to get a pulse and a feel of how this year finishes, and then what 2026 is going to look like, feel like. It may not be a Liberation Day type drama, but it's probably going to come with some plus or minuses of like 5 or 10%. So here's Netflix, like we're talking about. I mean, the trade I put in for Netflix is like, it's what's the position I have? I did this for Project Options Edge. Netflix. 78 by 70. So it's a ratio spread that gave me $1.20. I'm willing to own the shares, but 70 is my assignment, minus $8 on a profit trap, and then minus the $1.20. So I'd own shares at $60.80 if I was assigned. Chance of assignments like maybe 10 to 13%. And I'm hoping that, well, I mean, we still have more wiggle room here. It's just Netflix has had a great run. There's my low, there's my high. This is exactly what I did on NVIDIA, right? Any of these, or Google, if you take any of these stocks, there's a low, there's a high. Look left. We're coming into that 30% Fibonacci. It would come back to the 50% fib or the 61% fib. Previous all-time highs from there. Is that a good spot? Yeah, that's like a 50% discount, right? From the top, and there's good structure to like find some support again. If we have a bear market, could we give back more? Of course we could. But bigger picture, I think Netflix is going to roll over and be a stock that doesn't make any money. Probably not. I mean, I think it's cemented itself as king of streamers for the last couple of years. Everyone got in the streaming game. Netflix is, I don't know, still reigns supreme in my opinion. Maybe Jake Paul's fight with Anthony Joshua on the 19th. I can't believe I watched that Tyson fight. That was a joke. I felt bad for Tyson, actually. I just feel like that guy didn't even try. But Anthony Joshua, I'm like, that guy should beat the crap out of Jake Paul. Who knows? Maybe he'll stick in there for a decision. Something tells me it's all about the spectacle. Yeah, but I think Tyson was pulling punches. I really do. I mean, I remember watching. This is a funny story when I was an assistant pro at a golf course back in Indiana. One of the members invited me over for Lennox Lewis Mike Tyson fight, and the whole I don't know, maybe 15, 20 people over watching the fight. And I just remember thinking, like, I know that Tyson's like past his prime. Evander Holyfield at this point, beat him up a couple of times. He bit his ear off. Tyson's a little bit on the crazy side, but I'm like, I still would not want to fight that guy. Even watching the training that he did with Jake Paul, I'm like, I still would not want to fight this guy. So when they actually fought, it's like, I think Tyson gave him maybe one round. And after that, it's like, from what I had read, and I don't know if this is true, that the longer he goes in the fight, the more he gets paid. So I think Tyson just wanted to get paid. I think he lasted the fight, and it was a decision for Paul, and Tyson made $20 million, and peace out. I'll go play with my pigeons. Anyway. All right. Timing your. Yeah. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, it wasn't all the waterfall trades, but it was all of the ones that were above 6,000. I just thought, you know what? It's unnecessary to take on that type of risk. Let's give ourselves lots of wiggle room And now the trades that we have in are still sitting at like 98 to 99% chance of profit. I'm going to let those run for the next like 30 to 60 days. So we closed out 3 waterfall trades yesterday for profit. And that helps us reduce the risk. We got some nice buying power back, but they were, it was like a couple $100. It's fine. Made a couple $100 on that. And then the trades that we have running, I have probably another $300-400 of profit to go on top of the profit traps that are remaining. So we have, maybe 4 or 5 profit traps of $1,000 each. We have another set of income trades for maybe another $300 to $400. And I feel a lot more comfortable having those trades that are not even exposed to any risk unless we are below 6,000. If we're below 6,000, then there's some risk, right? But this market would have to do something pretty awful to see it just dump that hard into the end of the year. So I think we are pretty safe on a lot of those trades for full income. I'll most likely let those expire. We have one pending for above. Yeah, that was at the 200-day moving average, though, right? It was below the 200-day moving average. Yeah, that's a pending order. Let me go working. So pending. Check this one here. So the 63.20, yeah, that's below the 200-day moving average. That's the only one. I mean, again, it's not even close to getting filled. We're at 55 cents pending. It's trading for 15 cents. It might not fill because we're not going out that far. We're only out 35 days. That trade might not even fill. Yep. So I'm not really worried about that. Dara says, what is your opinion regarding crypto trading on sites like Mint Green Club? I've never heard of it. I would say don't love it. If you're trading crypto, I mean, brokers, you can trade crypto on Tasty Trade. You can trade crypto on major exchanges. You can trade with Binance. I don't know. Mint Green Club, I've never heard of it. I think that, what do you want to do? Do you want to buy Bitcoin? I mean, are you trying to trade crypto like Forex? I don't know. Just be careful. I mean, to me, like even trading Forex is all about trading with regulated brokers. Trading crypto, try to keep it as reputable and regulated as possible. I'm more of like Bitcoin investor. I like that I can trade options now with IBIT and FBTC, but or I just have my cold storage stuff that I've had for the last I guess almost 10 years now. And that's with like Ledger X. I've had that offline cold storage wallet for a while. But now that it's been securitized, like I just trade IBIT and FBTC as a spot price. So anyway, just do some research. Don't jump into anything silly. I've seen too many crypto scams out there. I had a buddy that thought he was buying into a yield farm, got smoked on that, lost 6 figures. I mean, it's funny, like all of it's after the fact. They tell me this after the fact. It's like if it was just a conversation with me, I'd be like, why are you doing this? That's a big risk. Tossing $150,000 to some farm in Texas thinking that it's going to be a yield farming thing. It's like it was a scam. Another friend that was, this German developer, he's brilliant. He's making 8% a week. I'm like, who says that? Like, I just, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So I can't imagine that any of those things are resulting good. Yep. So yeah, and I mean, yield farms were great until they weren't. And I think it was probably built on some type of Ponzi type situation anyway, where it's like, the reason it was working is because more money was coming in and Bitcoin is going higher. But now that it's turned, it's like those things are either getting turned off or people are down or people are getting redemptions. And it's like those things blow up left and right. So very careful. I did a conference like a year ago. A friend of mine put it on. He was based in DC. He had a pretty big following of like affluent investors, but collectively they all lost millions and millions of dollars in crypto scams. And so he kind of brought this group together to be like, hey, whatever we do moving forward as a community, let's do it the right way. And he slipped right back into this little questionable scam and investment scheme. And I'm like, okay, I came to offer some legitimacy and, I manage capital, blah, 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 but I'm not touching this stuff with a 10-foot pole. So yeah, I mean, I just think people looked at it like it's a way to make a quick buck. Reporting your name and Telegram response. I mean, that's the thing. You know where I'm at. Do you think that I'm in Telegram messaging you? Do you think that I'm in Discord, WhatsApp? Do you think I'm in that stuff? Message you personally? No freaking way. Like where am I every single day? Here, every day. I'm on YouTube every day. I'm on my Telegram channel that I share like the same channel or members every day. That's it. My Discord channel. It's one spot, it's one channel, it's all public every day. So all that other stuff is like, you know, little common sense. It's not me. All you have to do is come to my live sessions and ask me. All right. All right, let's take a look at today's price action. VIX is up to 16 and change. We're looking at a just over 1% move. Let's take a look at our plus minus. We had a 36.43 on the day. And now, move this up here. Prices are jumping around a little bit. Let's go 69.05. So we're looking at a plus minus 28, plus or minus originally 36. I'm going to go 05 and 10. I mean, the gamma levels get up to 6,900 today, though. That's the only thing I'm not loving is like we could get 6,900 today. We are negative gamma. So I think that, I mean, mechanically, this is fine. 69, 05, and 10. That's a 10 delta. Let's see if we can get this one to fill. This is a 6,800, 67.95. That's 80 cents. See if that fills for a buck. So I'm just going to go pretty strict 10 delta, 10 delta, 10 delta, no skew. Just let price do its thing. It's trading for 80 cents right now. If it fills for a buck, I'll take the buck. Okay, coming in for members in 20 seconds. Today is the 11th. Okay, pending order. Yes, David, I am. And those we have, until today, tomorrow to get filled on those. Price is right in the middle. They're trading for next to nothing right now. So that butterfly spread for the 15th, trading for 6 cents and 2 cents. So we're nowhere close to getting those filled. We'd have to have like a pretty impressive spike up to probably 69.50 for this one to even have a chance. The 7,000 butterfly spread, I'll keep them. They're just pending orders, but we're nowhere close to getting filled right now. So I mean, we got a couple days. I'll let them hang out. If they offer, over $1, I will take a look at the current options chain. I'll make sure we're not getting in harm's way with an expected move, and I'll take maybe the dollar-ish, but I won't settle for less than $1. That means I'm getting $1 to risk 4. I want to make sure there's a good probability there. We still have a profit trap opportunity, but yeah, I mean they're offering like 5 and 10 cents credit when I want $1 or $2, so I would just leave it. Okay, could we hit the 50% ATR? Yes, we could. Lows around 57, plus or minus 36. All right, we'll see. See if we can get filled this morning. That trade I just posted for daily profit is still trading for 80 cents. I wanted to get filled for a buck. So if price gets a little bit more directional, if we get directional up to maybe 75 or 80, we could get filled on that trade. There's a 50% ATR at 69.10. There is a pretty decent gamma level around 6,900. Maybe I'm gonna work. Hang on a second. We're at 91 cents. I might work the call side up one more strike. If I go 69, 10, 15, and then 10 and 5, I'm gonna try this one for. I'm gonna change the strikes. I'm gonna change the strikes. Just to give me a little bit more breathing room. I want to stay above. The other one was a 69.05. I'm going to cancel. Well, I mean, 05 is okay. I just don't. This is what I'm not loving. There's a gamma level at 69. My call strike is 69.05. There's a 50% ATR at 69.10. So I'm putting that 69.05 like kind of right at the potential move that I could see prices getting to. So if I did the 10 by 15, That's a 10 delta. All right, I'm gonna swap this. I'm putting this in the chat right now in Telegram. So I'm doing a 10 by 15, 10 by 15 call spread, and then a 10 by 5 put spread. There. So I just updated in Telegram. It's a 6910 by 6915, and then a 6810, 6805. I'll let those hang out. You can send me an email, chrispulverpub@gmail.com. Send me an email. I mean, again, there's little that I can do for that garbage. If you send me screenshots, like, I don't know what to do. It's Telegram. People impersonate me all the time on Telegram. People impersonate me on WhatsApp. People pretend they're me on. I mean, here's my Discord server. Here's a fun example that I literally go through every single week. So here's my Chris Pulver trading server here. So here's my trading server. This is my Chris Pulver trading Discord. If I go to settings and go to members, okay, this is not me. Real S Chris Pulver. Misspelled. They joined a day ago. I've been in this thing for 3 years. Real Chris Pulver, period, underscore, not me. Real Chris Pulver with 2 eyes, not me. I comb this crap every single week. Okay. These profiles, by the way, are never publicly putting in messages. Okay. This is me in a public format. Always. Right. So what happens is you join my Discord and then you get a private message pretending it's me. It's not me. It's not real Chris Pulver. Real Chris Pulver. It's not, 3+ years old. It's like it's been in Discord for a day. So I hate that. I don't even want social media for stuff like this. This is why I hate it. But like I'm live every single day. All you have to do is join and ask. So I share my email. You know how to find me. I would much rather have you do that versus like carrying on a conversation thinking that I'm messaging you offline. It's not happening. So anyway, I will go through and comb this crap right now because I do this stuff every week. So if I have anybody that's trying to impersonate me, so 1 day ago, not me, it's misspelled. 2 eyes underscore period. This one is 3 years ago. That's me when I built my Discord channel. So this is ban, suspicious or spam account. It's misspelled, ban, suspicious or spam account. Underscore period, ban. Here you go. So unfortunately, that's the fun times of Discord. I did, yeah. It was edited at 9:37, so the trade's updated, Mike. Yeah, I say the same thing. My rules, no scammers, no direct messages from me. I will never direct you or message you first in any form to offer solicitation. That's it. Like you can always private message me and I'll respond, but I never initiate. And that's like the biggest red flag is if you join my Discord or, Telegram and it's like Chris Pulver's reaching out to you. It's like, no, I'm not. I am not. um, you know how to find me every day, right? And I'd rather give you my email, give you my like live sessions where I can say everyone is welcome to join me, and you can talk to me here live every single day. All right, good fill for 10 wide, is it? I mean, if you're going 10, like I like the 10 delta. So if I was like 9 delta, 10 wide, 10 delta, 10 wide. I mean, it's $1.30. It's not awful, but you're just taking on a bit more risk. I think it's a good trade for the day. Just do I want to risk 870? If I can go up a strike and get $1, I might take this trade actually. I can go up on the call side. Let's see, that would be 69.15.25. See if I get filled for $1. Wait, Let's make sure I'm not overlapping strikes here. So I've got the 10-15. What trade I just cancel? 15-25. So that'd be an overlap. 15-25. Yeah, that'd be an overlap with the same strikes. So I can't do that trade. I like this 10. I like the 10, 20. If you want to go 10 wide, 10-20 is not bad. So the call side 69-10 by 20 and the 68-10 by 6800 is not bad. Maybe one strike lower. Maybe on the put side, I can get another. All right. I think I'm going to take this trade. If I can get filled for a buck 5, maybe. This is a bit more risk. Come on. I'm going to try to get $1 out of this. I'm taking on more risk on this trade, but I just got filled for $1. All right. So 10 by 20. All right. So I'm in a trade. This is all being edited. So here's the trade 10 by 20. I'm taking on more risk. You don't have to. You can let it pend. And then 6,800 by 6790. $1 credit filled. So just updated here. This is daily profit play updated just now. 69.10 by 20 on the call side, 6,800 by 67.90 on the put side, got $1. Okay. So I'm taking on a bit more risk, but I've moved the deltas enough from like, I think we'll be okay. I hope. We didn't have a market maker move respected yesterday. They exceeded it. So hopefully they're not doing it 2 days in a row. So this trade, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my DPP 10 wide. I'll keep an eye on this. So because I'm 10 wide here, if I can grab 30, 40, $50 out of this trade, I'm just going to go ahead and set a debit at 50. Set the debit at 50 and just let it do its thing. So 50 is a good exit point. If I think that price is really relaxed, then I might lower this to like 40 or 30 and try to get a slightly bigger profit out of it. Okay. It's in Telegram, Joan. It's for the members. Now let's keep an eye on the VIX. So 68.50, decent gamma level. Do we hit it? I mean, hopefully you see price does something like this. If we find this gamma level and we bounce, fill this gap or come back to that positive negative gamma pivot today, we don't really want to see prices doing too much damage below like 68.35. But I'm at 6,800 by 67.90, which is give myself a little bit more breathing room. Plus minus 36 in the day we're trading at. Opening bell was 57. So we would have a 57, 60-point move in order for us to take any heat on the downside. Yes, Rob, I'm still in those trades. They're not filled. They're still pending. I'm going to keep them pending. I've emailed anyone that emailed me or keeping the trade open. It's like, I'm keeping the trade open. I still like the trade. Are we threatening 7,000 right now? No. Are we threatening 66.70 right now? No. We're right in the middle. Right. So there's a chance that, today, tomorrow, like those trades just don't fill. It's not a big deal. They're out there with good levels. And if we get filled, great. If we don't, it's fine. It'll cancel on its own. Okay. Stephanie says, I got $1 on the. So tell me that you did the $1 credit on a 10 by 15. Right. So if your call side, you sell 69.10 by 15. Put side, you did 68.10 by 05. If you got $1 on that, that's pretty good. Let me check those numbers right now. So you're telling me that was a 10 by 15. So 10 by 15 and a 10 by 5. I'm showing 80, 85 cents right now. So if that got filled, maybe it was within the last couple minutes. Yeah, it's showing about 90 cents. I mean, it could certainly fill. That 10 by 5 on the put side is a higher delta, though. That 10 by 5 is a 16 delta. This is now a 5 delta. So if you wanted to shift the call side delta, I would move this to 6,900 or so. That would get you over $1 for a 5 wide. That's not a bad trade, honestly. That's delta neutral right now, but we also have had some pretty decent direction in the last few minutes. This is a 20-point move in the last like 5 minutes. So center price is where we opened, around 61. Okay, so because of that gap, I mean, here's the 50% ATR, here's the 100% ATR. I would hope that prices are going to, hit here and work its way back up. Yesterday's FOMC was not crazy inefficient. So the fact that the market is taking away yesterday's entire pop, I mean, it's not a surprise, I suppose, but it's a little disappointing that this wasn't just like some big rip. I mean, it went up and pulled back and went up and pulled back and went up again into the end of the day. So we're just kind of left with like, well, there's your inefficiency right now, and here is your intermediate support. But we have rolled into negative gamma, so we'll see. Now we're noticing these levels are filling up to the downside. This is why my trade is at 6,800 by 6,790. I don't really want to see price doing too much damage below probably this like 6,840 zone. But our trade is 6,800. So I'll put a line on this chart here. I'm so annoyed that I had to like hand draw that. But I've also had my computer on like sleep mode for like the last 2 weeks since I've been doing all that stuff for Income Grid. So it's probably just time to reset the cash on TradingView. All right, VIX is at 16.5. So I mean, I calculated a VIX out at 16. We need to move those levels. Okay, 16.52 VIX, prices are going higher. Let's be safe. Let's use a 17 VIX. Okay, so 1.06% move. Let's get a new top or bottom just to be safe. I'm going to go 1.06. So take the close, 1.06. So about 69.58. And then take the open price, go down about 1.06. 67.86. Okay, I'm using a 17 VIX. And that's giving us a little bit of runway. 67.86, a little bit of runway on that VIX. And we might still get above 17 on the VIX. So this all gets adjusted, right? All this gets adjusted. Your numbers lot, it is. Now it works. Before it just wasn't giving me the prompt on the text box. Okay, when you I mean, I did change it. I changed it in real time. Like this was being edited as I was talking out loud. Hey, I'm going to change this. I edit it here and post it. So like this is the trade that I got filled on. And this is 10 wide. Like I'm usually taking a 5 wide. So I'm taking on a bit more risk today. I will keep a very close eye on those potential like defense levels. We're at 16.6 VIX. I'm looking at maybe the highs and lows. I mean, maybe we come back up to 17 and change. So that 17.6 VIX, if we try to spike up there, it's like I'll set a chart alarm. And I'm hoping we're not going to see the VIX just rip to the upside today. Scott, I'm sending an email for you. I mean, I'm sorry, Katie. It's like I'm literally talking through it out loud. So when I'm saying I'm going to edit it right now, I'm making the update in Telegram. That's the trade I took. Look, if I'm going to take a trade from scratch right now, it would be a 5 wide. Because now that we're getting some movement, I mean, I don't want to be 10 wide. Honestly, I like my put side is now a 19 delta. I hate that trade. But what I'm going to do is let's look at a potential defense trade. So do I see the VIX spiking up to like 17 and change today? Maybe. Look at my gamma levels. I mean, here's one thing I tend to take a lot of pride in. It's like, okay, now that we're in this environment, we're at a 100% ATR. We shouldn't see prices going 150 to 200%. Is my trade still safe? I think that it is. Is there some heat and some risk that I'm taking on? Yes. Okay. But in a typical day-to-day fashion, after yesterday's market maker move was not respected at 42 points on the day, we closed like 60 points from open to close. Today at 36, we've already moved from an open of 61 down to 35. We've moved nearly 30 points. So, I mean, there's a bit more wiggle room, but are we going to go slightly lower? I mean, here's some support down around 26. So if we hit 25 or 26 and then go back up, look at your ATR levels. Like, do we stay below the 100% ATR for the entire day? Maybe. Hopefully not. Right? Bigger gamble levels at 68.50. Could we hit 68? Sure. But do we stay there? Hopefully not. It's like these are all probabilities. Nothing's guaranteed. That's why it's all about risk. So if I'm wrong today for daily profit play, I need to have some defense trades to help offset that risk. Okay. So a 17, I'm just going to go 17.6 VIX like we did yesterday. That was about a 1 point. Let's go 17.66 in 1.10. Okay, let's do the math. And I will adjust this if I need to. So we opened here. 1.1 is around 67.84. So I'm going to put in a butterfly spread. Let's see here. I can go 80, 75, and 65. If this fills for like $1 or more, I will take this trade. That could be a helpful defense trade. $1 would be great. And I will adjust this trade if the VIX continues to spike, but I'm reading the VIX at a 17.6, which means I'm giving it some wiggle room. I'm letting the VIX like go higher. See if that trade gets filled. That's a defense trade. Okay, so my level that I need price to respond to and not go below is 6,800. That's my put side. And my call side was at 69.10, which doesn't seem like it's going to get threatened at all today. So we're still in the middle. And there is some decent weekly support. I mean, even if you look left on this chart all the way down here to like 68.05, 68.10, there's plenty of support down here. I would hope that today is not the day that it takes all that stuff out. So any type of chop, any type of recentering, here's how daily profit makes money today. If we stop going down, we start to recenter, right? So we start to stall here, find some intermediate support, start to recenter on the day, then we're right back in the middle, which is perfect for our daily profit play to start showing us some profits. Fair? Okay. All right. So 6,800. Let me put this on. Put this exactly at 6,800. And let's set the chart alarm at 68 so I know. Let's put a chart alarm back here around center price at 68.50 and see if one gets hit first. Obviously, I'd like to see price at 68.50 to kind of recenter this trade. That would start looking at some profit on daily profit play. Okay, keep an eye on the VIX this morning. I mean, this is the one thing I'll be watching right now is like I've done a broken wing butterfly defense trade based on this VIX high. So unless the VIX is going to keep screaming to the upside to 17.6, that defense trade might not be needed, and this might find an intraday top. And if we start to retreat on the VIX, then our trade's going to be fine. Okay, but I do want to keep watching this. Hopefully you get a little sticky around 68.50. So how have we done for the week? So the weekly candle is, we're red for the week. So the market's down about 0.5%. It's no big deal. Just curious how the week is playing out. Okay, lots and lots of chopping here. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 9 days of indecision. I know that yesterday seemed decisive, but we just tested the recent highs, right? These are the all-time highs. Russell, I'm just curious on how this price is maybe flipping from yesterday, right? All-time highs broken on Russell. RSP, all-time highs broken in RSP. We're actually green on the day for RSP. Like, this rotation narrative is still alive and well. So anyway. All right. So the trade that I put in for a pending order is a put broken wing butterfly for daily profit play. This is also subject to change if the VIX is greater. And I'll put this in the chat. So this is going to be defense trade bottom. I'm using a 17.66 VIX. Yesterday's high to give a bit of breathing room. This trade will be adjusted if the VIX is greater than 1766. But the trade that's pending right now is a buy at 67.80. And 67.65. Okay. Pending order. All puts. All puts. And it might not fill. We might not need it. What's going to have to happen for that trade to be filled is price is going to have to continue to fall. So for the day, here's yesterday's close. Here's our open. We've fallen down to the 100% ATR. If this intraday, remember the plus minus on the day was 36. Okay. So from the open, 61 and 36, that put us down to like the 20s. So open at 61. Let's go down 37 points. 61 minus 37, that puts us down to 68.24. Potentially a low for the market maker levels that would be defended would be like the 68.20 area. If it works its way back up into center, our daily profit play is fine. This is what I want. Like, I just want to see price just find a center. If it finds a center, we're going to be in profit. Right now, the trade is down about $40. We come back to center. This probably shows us a quick $30-$40 of profit. And that's fine. Okay. So, I mean, right now price is doing what we need. We had a 10-minute sell off. That's fine. Not fun, but fine. But we're at the 100% ATR. Sticky level at 68.50. Gamma at 68. I mean, that was that pretty sticky gamma at 68.50 was the negative gamma. 68.85 is our positive negative gamma pivot, which is right around the close yesterday. If price comes back up to where we stalled here, that's around 68.65. If we work our way back to that level, we're right back into center, which is perfect for daily profit play. We should see some profit on the trade that we can manage. Cool. Just hang in there with me. We did a low delta trade. I mean, you got to give it a chance. And I have a little bit of an extra confidence boost because yesterday was not a market maker contained day. And so I'm hoping that today is. I could be wrong, but hopefully we manage to grab some profit. So a little bit of recentering on today would be good. Chart alarm is set at 50. Let's see what it looks like. If we tap this chart alarm at 50 or 55, then let's see where our daily profit lays at. So right now I'm down about 20 bucks. All right. We hanging out? We good? So blue lines represent where my call side, put sides are for the day. Getting back to center would be delicious. Let's get back to like 68.57 or so. If we get there, we should be showing some profit this morning. I might not be super greedy. If I get like 40 bucks, I might just grab a quick 40 bucks. 30, I mean, I collected $1, so technically I should be going after 30 bucks. But I'm happy also, 30, 40, 50 bucks on that dollar wide or dollar credit would be great. Greg, yeah, I mean, if you joined any of my master classes for last month, we talked a lot about that. So the quick synopsis is this: 15 wide is fine. It's totally fine. It's totally mechanical. It's the trade that works. You collect more premium. Why'd I do 10? Because it's a little bit higher probability of profit. I let price come to me, and usually we get paid a lot faster because we're going 5 wide versus 10 wide. I've got over 1,000 members in this class, and unfortunately, I know a lot of people that take, a 10 wide, 15 wide, 20 wide are probably emotionally not comfortable taking that loss. So I'm tightening up the risk and I'm going lower delta so we have an increase of profit. And it's also easier to manage a 5 wide. If we have a 5 wide trade that we can grab, 50, 60, 70 cents out of the dollar, that's a bigger winner. So we're going slightly higher probability, slightly bigger winners. These are all good things, and actually we're reducing our risk by half, right? Instead of going 10 wide, we're going 5 wide, and let price come to us. So you want to go into the classroom, go to your daily profit, watch your master classes from last week or the week before, and that is explained. So I made the tweak on my own because my goal, look, man, I want to win every day, and so if I can go from an 85% chance of profit mechanically on an option chain to a 90% chance of profit, and we let price come to us, we get filled and we get paid, and I've got defense trades. Like I'm hoping that the win rate here, it's like the hard part is I've already taken 550 trades in this course. But as I started to make this modification, our win rate is like 93% right now. So like on a day-to-day basis, we're winning a lot more and we're winning bigger profits, and we have defense trades to help us mitigate even further risk. So, look, man, I reserve the right to do whatever I want. Like, it's my trade. The daily profit play core strategy. You can take your 15 delta all day long. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. It is a textbook, like 15, 16 delta is a textbook 30-year study. But now it's 0 DTE, and all you're dealing with is gamma sensitivity in a day-to-day basis. Okay. 30 years of trading the SPY at a 16 delta still has like a 91% win rate. But now that it's 0 DTE, the only difference is gamma exposure is like 10 times what it normally is in like a 30 to 60 day cycle. So I'm just trying to increase the probability of profit a little bit. There you go. Mike says close 90 cents for 50. So you closed at point. So you got $1.80 then? Nice. We should be in profit now. Yeah, I'm up. So that was a quick swing, right? Down 40 bucks, up 15, 20 bucks. That's good. I'm going to see if this will get us back into, so we're trading at like 80 cents now. I'll let this decay to like 70, 65, 60 cents. I'll probably take the profit around like 60 or 50 cents this morning. Yeah, I mean, this is what we wanted. Price is good. Hit the 100% ATR. Stay within the market maker move. Pivot around 68.75. I've got a 69.10 and 20. I mean, could price get all the way back up here to gap fill today? Maybe. I just need price to get back to center. Okay, so just let it do its thing. Bill says out of 5 wide, good. Close at 65 cents, good. Yeah, all good. You're all well. I mean, if you want to take the profit, you can take the profit. Take the profit. It's hard to lose money taking profit. So I'll let this marinate a little bit longer today. I'm going to try to get my like 30, 40, 50 cents profit. But I'll watch my defense levels. This probably means we had a turn on the VIX as well. Look at that turn. VIX topped out around 16.7. Again, is it going to do that for the day? Well, now I'll move a chart alarm down here. Okay, so if we break this high, it's like this could be our intraday high for the day. 16.7 means we have about a 1.04% or a 1.04 would be like my extreme high or low. So 1.04 would be pretty much the same number to the upside. 1.04 is going to be like a 69.57 top. And the gap lower, we gap lower 1.04. Maybe around 67.88 or so, within a couple points of what I already calculated. So I think we're fine. Defense trade still looks good. If price gets a little wonkier to the downside, if we come back into center and we get into this area, it's like, I mean, like, do we have this big reflexive rally today? I hope we don't. I mean, I have a $900 risk above 69.10, so I don't want there to be a huge rip to fresh highs today. Okay, good. All right. Anyway, price is looking pretty chill. That's good. So going down, coming back to center, we just want price to just kind of hang out there for the next 45 to 50 minutes. Let's see where price is at the top of the hour. Any questions for me today? A couple of things I wanted to address. So waterfall income masterclass today at 2 p.m. Blake is going to play a little a session for my waterfall income. If you'd like to join me, 2 p.m. masterclass today. We did close out 3 winning trades yesterday. I decided, going into FOMC, take some of the profit off the table, reduce some of the risk. And the only exposure we have on waterfall income right now is all below. Here is my waterfall strategy 2. 5,800 is my line in the sand. That is a long ways away from current price. We'd have to have the market drop 1,000 points. Could it happen? Sure. But is it going to happen? Probably not. This trade, 59.75. This trade, 5,700. This trade, 59.20. This trade, 58.10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high probability trades. 98% probability profit, 99, 99.5, 99.5, 99. So we're going to win these trades. More than likely, we're going to win these trades. So that is credit-wise, $1, $1.50, 75, 50, and 75. So $350 of very probable profit with potentially $5,000 in profit traps to go with it. So that's what I should make, is $350 on top of what I made yesterday, which is around 30, and so about $100 yesterday between the trades I closed, which is fine. Couple $100. Okay. So looking good. And now our risk is quite a bit lower. These aren't super long expirations. The one, February is long. Like, that's out there until 71 days out. Could we get a little dicey in February? Maybe. But we're also, 15, 16% away, a 98% chance of profit based on the current options positioning, and our strikes are at 58.10. I mean, if we dump, it's like, okay, 6,500 is pretty good support. 6,550 is pretty good support. 6,150 is pretty good support. 6,000, round number, pretty good support. We'd have to do damage to all of those levels, right? And hopefully that's not the case. So anyway, we'll talk about those trades today. We will review current markets and see what we want to line up. Otherwise, we'll just come and trade next week. But I want to do a waterfall class today to talk about strategy 1 and strategy 2. So a pretty intensive masterclass. I'd like all of you to join me. So come on into waterfall income. So we're looking good on daily profit play today. Blake, let's fire that thing up, and I think off we go tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, we'll do daily profit play again. I want to